Hey everybody, I wanted to show you my almost completed Mini Weber Smoky Mountain Grill. I used to have a different pot on here, but I ended up cutting the bottom out too far, so I had to get a different pot. What I'm using now is a 36 quart pot that I got from Academy. I believe it's American Gourmet. This one's been going for about 7 hours now. As you can see in the background, I've got the IQ 110 hooked up to it. I'm seasoning this pot right now, so it's been running at 225 for about 7 hours. Doing pretty good, a lot better than the other pot that I ended up screwing up with. I'm going to break this thing down, kind of give you guys an idea of what I did to build it. And if you hear all the weed eaters in the background, that's the guys coming along to cut our lawn around the neighborhood here. So I'm going to break this down and show you what I did. As you can see, that's what I have left as far as coals after 7 hours of cooking. This is the first time I pulled the pot off of here, and I've noticed that a little bit of ash has gotten in my IQ output. What you see on the far side, that's what I ended up putting in there. It's a little metal coupling I put in there. I've got the Smoky Joe Silver, and I originally had the IQ attached to the bottom, pushing up air through the intake on the bottom. And what I did is I decided to move it to the side there. Like I said, this is the coal that I have left after 7 hours of burn. Yeah, so I got the lid on, and the coals are snuffed out. They're still a little hot, but we can manage with that. Let me go on and finish showing you what I did. As you can see, I got a bolt hooked up to the intake, and where I can change the damper without really burning myself, I guess. I really don't have to mess with that too much, or actually not at all, since I've got the IQ 110 hooked up. Sometimes, or what I did this last time when I was getting it up to temperature, I opened this up and had the IQ 110 going until I hit about 200 degrees, and then I'll let the IQ 110 take over. It ended up spiking about 250, 275 before the IQ 110 brought it back down and held it at 225. As you can see, I've got these metal legs here that I had to use when I originally had the IQ 110 hooked up to the bottom. What would happen was the hose would come in and it would have a bend at the bottom, almost crimping it off, because the legs weren't long enough or tall enough to keep it off the bottom there. But now that I've changed the spot where it comes into the grill to the side, I could probably use the original legs again, but these are already on here and it kind of elevates it a little bit. I need to screw them in a little better, but all in all, it does a pretty good job of keeping it elevated. So that's the base and everything. Let me go around the other side and kind of show you where the IQ 110 comes in. It comes in right there on that thing. I still got the tag on it. Tell me what it is. It's a 1-inch steel insert male adapter, and it's got 2 conduit nuts holding it into the grill here. And just based off of the first burn I did using this new pot and changing the intake location for the IQ, it seemed to work out a lot better than having it on the bottom where I originally had it. Let me move on to my pot. This here in the back, that's just a oven thermometer I threw in there. Really hard to read the temperature now. with all the smoke seasoning on there. This right here, this is the temperature probe for the IQ 110. Move that out of the way. Now, what comes next is your original grill grate for your Weber Smoky Joe. That one's still got a little bit of stuff on it from my last cook. Now what I'm going to do, I haven't went out and got it yet, but there's going to be another replacement grill grate that will sit on top of this 18-inch terracotta saucer I got in here. I got to clean it up a little bit now because during my last cook, when I had aluminum foil over it, I guess I must have put a hole in it. It's got a little bit of residue on it now, so I'm going to take that and spray it off real good. And then in the bottom here, I've got a replacement cooking grate that sits right on the bottom of this pot. And for the bottom of the pot, to cut it out, I just put a hole in the middle, took some string and drew a circle, and I don't remember how big the lip is there. I'll get a tape measure out and show you all. But it's worked really well for the seasoning process during that last one cook. So let me flip this over and take a tape measure to it, and I can show you all the measurements and how I did it. Alright, now I showed you how I broke it down. And just in case you're still a little confused, let me show you reassembly. First thing I got is replacement grill grate. This goes right on the bottom to the lip that was made, or that's still there from cutting out the bottom of my pot here. And then on the replacement grill grate, I don't have it foiled right now, but it will be foiled whenever I cook it. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, I notice that it's cracked, starting to crack going through it. So I'm probably going to end up replacing this with a pie pan or something like that. But that's a 12-inch terracotta saucer that just sits in the bottom. And then I'm going to get another replacement grill grate that will sit on the top of that. And obviously when I cook it, that'll be foiled. But if I replace it with a pie pan, that'll be foiled as well. And then my cooking grate for the top sits in there just like that. Then I'll take the lid, put it on top of there, and then the whole pot and everything sits on top of that. And I'll let the IQ 110 control it. If you're on the fence about having an IQ 110 control your temperature after this seasoning that I just did, I'm a firm believer in it. After 7 hours, holding strong at 225, that's how much charcoal I got left. Looks like, just by roughly looking at it from what I remember filling it up with, it looks like it only used maybe half, maybe. What I did notice, and it makes sense, is when I put all the briquettes that from my chimney starter in the middle, the fire went this way towards my IQ 110 output. Now, it looks like the coals here on the side have slowly caught, so I don't think it's going to be an issue with them burning out away from the air output. That's something I'll have to watch during my longer cooks. If y'all have any questions, let me know. And that's how I put together my mini Weber Smoky Mountain. Thanks for watching.